I've had a lot going on lately, but I want to get into a couple things and clear a few things up. Things that I have been talking about in my last few videos that either been, twisted out of proportion or, things have been said and I just want to clear this up because people try to set these traps and I'm just trying to clear stuff up. I release a lot of videos talking about Bolsheviks. I just did one on Zelensky saying that he was a Bolshevik. And, people don't understand what I'm saying. They say, you think he's a Bolshevik? Well, Putin is a Bolshevik. They keep asking what I really mean when I say Bolshevik. What do you mean by that? Like it's some kind of code word, And that's what they're trying to get me to say or admit, that I'm using Bolshevik as some kind of code word for people, right? Bolsheviks are Bolsheviks. They keep implying that Putin is a Bolshevik, like I said, as if Bolsheviks are some type of political organization or something like that. And they clearly are not understanding what I am saying. Bolsheviks are not a political party. They are shock troopers, agents of chaos, who have one thing in mind and one goal, whether they even realize that's their purpose or not: destroying the fabric of a nation through chaos, through everything that they are doing. They are put in power. They are people who have hatred for the world, for the system that they live in. BLM was full of Bolsheviks. The trans movement is full of Bolsheviks. People with just this hate and disgust that want to destroy, revenge, that type of thinking. The left is full of Bolsheviks. They are agents of erosion, of destruction. They are the same people who were put into power during the first Bolshevik Russian Revolution to unleash their hatred on the population. They purposely do this. You put the psycho in power and they destroy everything and they murder and they punish. That's what they think is social justice, right? That's what Bolsheviks are. They are not a political party. They just are not. The push of the trans thing is intentional because it causes divide, right? Another example: Disney and Hollywood making terrible shows and movies, remakes, destroying Star Wars, cultural things. These people are out there saying, look how stupid they are. They must be mad that they're losing so much money. They're not mad. This is all intentional. This is being done to destroy the culture. They are being paid to destroy all of this. Snow White, name it. It is being destroyed. They're not mad that they're losing money. This is the MO. They are destroying everything right now. Put it all together and look at it, and it is obvious. The trans movement invading women's sports. It's not there for acceptance. They are there to invade, subvert. And to prove my point, if they were given their own trans league tomorrow, none of them would participate in it. They wouldn't even show up. And I'll bet money on that. The numbers would drop significantly or 2-0. That is how this works. They are shock troopers, and they are put in power positions, and that's what they're doing now. They put look at, like, what's her name? What's his name? Rachel Levine or whatever. Put in there as a divisional character to divide, to cause friction and hatred. And those are the type of people, this whole defund the police thing that was going on back then. What do you think? The police are just going to go away? No, they're going to replace it with the Stasi, right? And the Stasi will be a bunch of just people who have a grudge against Midwest normal America that want to come in and punish them. That's what the Bolsheviks did. They went around and they took food out of people's mouths, just like they did when they were closing down people's bank accounts a few years ago, and are still doing it. This is a Bolshevik revolution in the same way. Bolsheviks drink the Kool-Aid. They drink the Kool-Aid, and then they wind them up like a wind-up toy, and then they set them loose on the public. And with this one would be more likely to influence other people to do things, right? By their words, by their rhetoric. So let's listen to what this one has to say. This is a Bolshevik being driven by anger and misinformation.
I do wish death on transphobic people because they wish death on me and have caused death to many, many, many of my brothers and sisters in the trans community. I want to stab all of you to death as many times as I can. I want to stab you in the throat and twist it like I'm carving a fucking pumpkin. I want to shred you into tiny fucking pieces. I want to tear your fucking bones out from your goddamn body. I want to scoop your brains out with a fucking spoon. I want to eat your fucking flesh.
That is pure, unadulterated, psychotic hatred. And these are the type of people that are put in power. Do you understand? So they put this person in a position of like leading a, let's say, a community police movement. They wouldn't call it police. They would call it something else. You know, if the police were defunded, that would take its place. And this would be the leader. They would put someone like this in power. That is how the Bolsheviks do it. And then the cleanup crew comes in and implants all the rules. The real party comes in. This is exactly what's going on everywhere. That's why all these activists and these nut jobs are being put into power positions right now. Even during COVID, you know, when they were letting out all these prisoners, that's what the Bolsheviks did. They let out like the nut jobs, like the worst, most violent, insane prisoners possible. And then they would either let them run the streets and just cause chaos, or they would put them into the army with them, rolling around, destroying villages, raping and pillaging, doing what they do, right? That is what a Bolshevik is. So there's no trick question. I'm not using code words. If you get wrapped up in this type of thinking, destruction, all of this, taking food out of another man's mouth to get even, taking food out of his family's mouth, starving people, hurting people, making them lose their jobs, their livelihoods, destroying, causing chaos, ripping apart society. You are a Bolshevik. That is what a Bolshevik is. It is not a political party. Bolsheviks are the ones running the ELF and electromagnetic weapon programs because it creates confusion, fear, terror, and brings in things like red flag laws, disarming the people, and paves the way for the upcoming political party to swoop in and implement the real change after the chaos has been ensued. And all these organizations turn into Bolsheviks. The hippie movement turned in, the hardcore hippie movement turned into Bolsheviks. The punks turned into Bolsheviks. These subcultures always get infiltrated and turned into an organization or a subculture with a Bolshevik agenda. They're not a political party. They're insane and hateful people who are put in power or in positions of power or influence to destroy and wage war on the people and society that they perceive have done them wrong. They use their anger and their hatred and the conditioning that was brought on by the people using them to use them as useful idiots, to use their rage. Sort of like you will taste man flesh, right? Bringing them up out of the mud and then sending them after these people. That is what they do. And that's what you are seeing. You've been seeing this for the past, 6, 7, 8 years and longer, of these insanely angry, insane activist people being put in power positions, even up to judges, police officers, politicians, and then right down to street level, like these guys. That's what they do. For example, here I use this photo. These are 3 guys, random guys that weren't even together. 3 random guys that were attacking him randomly, that had nothing to do with him, that didn't know each other, that were just running after him and attacking him. So it was all random, right? At Kenosha. Kyle Rittenhouse shot 3 random guys at a BLM riot, okay? And 3 out of 3 were Bolsheviks. 3 of them. 3 out of 3. What are the odds that 3 Bolsheviks randomly shot at a BLM riot would be Bolsheviks? DEI is not what people think it is. DEI is a way of getting rid of the best man for the job and putting in the person, installing the person into the position of power or the job or whatever it is that has the same mindset that the overlords want them to have. Let's say a DEI head of a nonprofit, and they have these ideas. They don't hire normal people anymore. They only hire more people who have that mentality, the Bolshevik mentality, that look for people to do the dirty work, to strip down society. That's what it is. Bolsheviks are not a political party. They are shock troopers. They are terror troopers. This is what they do. They destroy the fabric. Just like Hollywood, just like I mentioned before. Hollywood didn't fuck up Snow White, Star Wars, Indiana Jones, and everything else accidentally and lose a bunch of money. They did it intentionally to destroy the culture, to destroy it. This is what they do. And if you study your history, you'll understand the playbook totally stays the same. The only thing that's changing is what they need to destroy, because the fabric of culture changes over time. There are things that are important now that weren't important back in 1919, and these things have to be destroyed because they are part of our culture. That is what they are doing. That is what they are doing. And the other thing is, they have to dumb down AI. They admitted that they've already had to start doing this. The AI is only as smart as the people who program it and dumb it down. So the AI has to be Bolshevik too. So it's all coming to that. It's not a political party. I'm telling you. So quit confusing the two. It's all about taking things down, ripping it down, bringing in the shock troopers, bringing in the Gangrik Yagodas, the people who will destroy, the people who have such a grudge against you, your life, the way you live, your family, this society, everything, the people who have such a hatred and a grudge that they get off on taking food out of your mouth, that they get off on taking your property away, that they get off on taking anything away from you, that would get off on killing you. No problem. Just like we heard that guy say in the video earlier. And make room for the new normal. So I've had to slow down on making videos due to numerous circumstances, but one of them was an immediate family member was in my car and driving it. And on the freeway, the car was stopped in a traffic jam, and this semi was a big truck was stopped behind the car, and out of nowhere just decided to floor it. I don't want to get into all the details, but it completely totaled the car. In the state that I'm in, it's no fault insurance. Car was getting a little bit older, so no full coverage on it. So you're just shit out of luck. I've been pretty strapped with bills and doing this and trying to get, anything done with this, project that I've been working on for so many years is getting next to impossible. I'm so far behind now. I am going to start sort of a GoFundMe type thing. And if you can, please donate when I get it set up. I really need the help because I don't want to give up on this and what I've been putting this time into for so many years, but it's getting to the point now where I am literally in the hole from doing it. And now we have medical bills on top of that, and other things are piling up, and it's just getting to the point where it is it's next to impossible to get anything done like this, because anytime I do it, if I get into a project for a couple days, I'm putting myself in the hole by, hundreds of dollars every time. So it's just it's becoming madness. So I'll let you know what's going on with that, and if you can donate, I would very, very much appreciate it. And I will talk about that in my next video when I can make a next video. So look out for Charlie.